Hi Karthik, welcome back.
Hey Ashley, how are you?
I am good, all well, can't complain.
Yeah, okay,
Good progress by Manchester United.
definitely. Yeah, I think excellent games, excellent results. That's what we spoke about last time. Win the next two league games and you'll be in top four. So we are third. Three, four, it's okay, equal on points with a game in hand. So that's excellent progress compared to where we are last year, compared to where we were 2 months back. I mean, there was a lot of noise about we being in the table 12, 13, 14th. I think it doesn't matter really in the first three, four games because we had no preseason. Everybody was crying about how bad we were against Crystal Palace and stuff. I think it made sense for 5 games it took to for the players. The players we have are like Rooney kind of players. Like they need 3, 4 games to get into a rhythm. We are in a very good rhythm now. Unfortunately, we are not in the Champions League, which is I think it's hard luck. It's something which we can't still digest.
Travesty
Let's
of
hope.
justice.
Yep, exactly. That's what I was looking for a word. We had played like 50% of how we played in the Leeds game. In the Başakşehir game away, PSG, I think we still played well. We did not take chances, but we definitely played well. Again, you can see that we are not taking chances. Like Ole said, 12 goals was a reality. It is not even like
12-4 was a
exactly
reality.
not even exaggerating. It was a reality. At least 10. I mean, Marshall had two very good chances.
I
I
don't
think
know.
Cavani had one. James followed it up. There were really. It was not even like a keeper had a the opposition keeper had a magnificent performance. There was nothing. We just did not. So it shows we on our day can score 10 goals. I mean, unbelievable, right? Such a team which we are having now. It's fantastic
You
actually.
know, I don't know. I can't blame Oli for Martial, but his misses cost us the semi-final against Sevilla, the game against PSG, yesterday the game against Leeds. Luckily, the team were around what four. We were 4-0 up or 4-1 up at the time, but those were one-on-one chances which should have been converted in his sleep. He did not
Yeah,
put that away. Cavani, fine, he's little rusty. He's missed in the past, but I think I really don't know what the problem with him is. Whether it's a problem of concentration, it's not a technical problem. As in, probably
definitely.
at that point of time, when he's faced one on one with an where he just has to put it a little left or the right to the goalkeeper. That's I mean, out of reach of the goalkeeper's hands and legs. That's more than enough. He's missed such opportunities in three very, very important games that have resulted in the team going out of the Champions League. Because had the team won against PSG, the team was through. Sevilla, had we beaten Sevilla, surely we would have won that final. And
Uh,
against Leeds, it wasn't costly, but it's becoming worrying.
but at the same time, I think even the Leipzig game, if we had Martial or Cavani, we might have scored actually. He's getting into excellent positions. The misses which we are talking about, or at least the ones in the Leeds game, it was a fantastic first touch actually. So to get into that position is very difficult. The missing that was easier than scoring actually, and I mean harder than
That's
scoring actually. So that is
that's
where it was surprising. But
that's
again,
exactly the
I went
point.
back and looked at the stats and how he played the whole game. I had a look at how he played. He created 6 opportunities as a striker, and then he moved into the left wing. He was creating so many opportunities. He is a player who links up play. I think that is what he is. He's not a number nine. Cavani is going to be our number nine at least for this season. Who we are going to get? Marshall might still be a good striker, but he might is he the number nine who is going to play 38 league games a season? I don't know because he's not even somebody who stays fit throughout the season. He's like 30 games he plays or something like that. Like league in terms of league games. I think he missed 6 games last season or seven. So I think he is a fantastic player. This is what we spoke about. He will get into form. He has been getting into form. The Sheffield game he scored a goal, an assist and a goal. So this game he had 2 assists. Again Lindelof. We spoke about Lindelof getting into the box when attacking corners. Lindelof was able to score. So that is what we should be doing. Actually, we should be attacking corners. We put three proper men at the back. We made sure that Leeds don't counter attack. I think we got the tactics spot on. Lot of people were unhappy with the team. I wasn't actually. I was actually thinking. I actually put a tweet saying McTominay might score one or two, and in the third minute, I actually retweeted that
uh,
because I actually didn't believe it. It was just something which I put. I just because somebody spoke about two DMs. Real Madrid played with two DMs. They played with Xavi Alonso and Caderia for a long, long time, right? Two, three
correct.
seasons.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it is not like two DMs is wrong. And plus, I don't think these people are DMs, right? These people are not like Matic DMs, Fred and
correct,
McTominay.
correct.
They can play multiple roles. McTominay is a striker converted defensive midfielder. He can be a runner. He can play behind the striker because you can see both the goals. They are striker goals. One powerful shot. I mean, beautiful shot. The first goal was a fantastic goal. The second goal was a fantastic run. People, I think we underrate a lot of our players, especially McTominay. He can get in your face. He can play a rough game. He can play a sleek game. You can see that he has cut out a lot of unnecessary fouls. He used to be very fiery. A lot of people used to compare him to Roy Keane. He used to make a lot of tackles. Now he's getting his game better. I really like the fact that how he's molding his game. I think he is somebody we have to watch out for. He's very good player. He's a physique. He's a physique. I mean, he can run like 12 kilometers, 13 kilometers easily. He has such a good physique. I think he is somebody who can help us for long, long, long time because he can play multiple roles. He can play in diamond. He can play. I think sometimes there is a lot of confusion. I think sometimes when McTominay and Pogba played together, they didn't know roles. It is something which we always have to, because the midfield diamond is something which is not working out for us. I think we should cut that out completely because we played because we want to accommodate either Pogba or VDB. But at the end of the day, I think we should play horses for courses. Let's say Everton game is coming. We want to rest Fred and McTominay. McTominay had a groin injury, so I am sure he's not going to. Ole is not going to risk him. So we would probably expect Pogba to play there. Maybe I would even rest Bruno for a game and maybe play Van de Beek because he was bought in for this. He was bought in to give other players rest. So if he's not playing this game, right? If he's not starting this game, then the whole point of getting him looks like a little bit of a redundancy in this team.
In fact, I had gone out on a limb and said Anthony Marshall would score more goals this season that he did last season, because last season he was creating goals out of nothing. He was brilliant. So I don't know. I think maybe it's a mental problem or whatever. It's maybe the confusion when you are in front of goal. I mean, they're simple chances which normally I'm sure last year he would have put those away, you know, in his
Yeah,
sleep. It
yeah,
was, but I guess, well, I just get it evens out and he starts scoring again. And as you said about Scotty, uh, I think mentally he's matured, hasn't he?
yep,
You know, into playing the role. It doesn't necessarily that game against PSG. Yeah, he played the hardman role.
yep.
And I think from what I see, it's something probably done which they've taken him aside on the the team management on the ground, the coaching, and you know he was making runs when Fernandes had the ball
Yep.
into the into the box, which which he never did before. That's how his
Yeah,
goals came.
that is important actually.
Yeah,
He was scoring goals. I think he's still, you can, from outside the box. I think Arsenal game last season, there were a few goals he scored. He is a scorer. He is, obviously he's not Paul Scholes, but he can hit them from outside the box and score goals. He has it in him. He has a good technique of hitting the ball. I think it is fantastic. Like you said, he has matured. He's mentally matured. He's understanding the game better. He's making the runs, and that he can do when not playing alongside Pogba. That is the problem, because Pogba is also more attack-minded box to box, or attack-minded number six. So that is where might be the problem. So if Pogba plays, that is where I think we should judge his maturity, right? When Pogba, Bruno, and McTominay play, can McTominay hold back completely? Right? Is he going to sit in the DM position? If the same what Matic did the other day against when we played against Sheffield, right?
Sheffield, right?
Yep. and that again, that game we should have probably finished off long back. We had six chances. We put ourselves in tough positions, but that's okay. It looks like if it is an away game, if I am Ole, I'll tell the team score a own goal first minute, score a own goal. That's when we wake up. Score a own goal, because that is how we have been doing, and we have been doing fantastically well with that. I mean, you can always find faults, but at the end of the day, in the Premier League, if you're going for 6, 7 away games together and winning every one of them, it is a fantastic achievement.
Yeah,
If
I
I'm wrong,
think
overall run, I think it is 10 games or 11 games or something, right? Including last season.
yes,
I think it's 10
yes,
games.
yes. It's been an amazing run. I guess it was probably lack of there no preseason and stuff like that, and getting things into place. But against they came back really well against Sheffield United. Of course, again problems with defense, but I mean both goals were defenders' mistakes. I mean we just gifted both goals to them. But in the end, to actually come back after that, hold on for the win, it was 3 points. And against Leeds, it was breathtaking. It was amazing.
Definitely.
I think probably anybody seeing that team sheet would have been put off thinking about what tactics the team would use, seeing Fred and McTominay as two CDMs.
Yes.
I think even the pundits before the match were like saying, this team is not good. They are two CDMs. They are set up to defend. They are set up to probably dilute Leeds midfield and Leeds attacks. I think even Leeds got pulled into that, thinking that this is what they'll do. But McTominay was everywhere. I mean, he was fun. Pogba wasn't missed. He ran on to every ball, through ball, forward ball that Fernandes was putting through, and his retrieval. He was running back to defend, which
That is
was
important.
which was really amazing. I mean, see, Leeds have one style of playing.
Yep.
Okay, they are going to attack, attack, attack. They're supremely fit. They run for 90 minutes continuously. So I think even the addition of James purely to in the attacking sense, because he's quick and he's fast, simply to to keep the right flank occupied, keep the defense occupied on that side, because he's really quick and he made a couple of good runs. He bottled a few, but so probably that worked in the team's favor. But attacking, they were in another league on that day.
I actually feel that is what they did also. I mean, apart from the first 5 minutes where McTominay went in for a couple of runs, right? You actually look at it, he sat back. And there is nothing wrong with that, right? At the end of the day, that you are playing an attacking team. That is where so some people say there is nothing we are doing tactically. So why so when we do something tactically, some people start blaming why we are doing tactically. That is wrong, right? James played because we wanted to offer more support to Van Bissaka. He is getting caught a lot of times.
Yes,
We know Rafinha and other players are going to really come at him. They are going to use the right flank. So that is where James played.
yeah,
Played. And I think. I mean, irrespective of Mason fit or not fit or anything, I think that was his role to track back, and we actually
yes,
scored the goal tracking back. Right,
yes,
Fernando's
yes,
goal. If you see, James intercepts the pass, sends it back to
yes,
Fernando, and
yes,
that goes to Fred, and that goes to Marshall, and then Fernando scores back.
yes,
So that is what his role was. What I don't really, irrespective of the score line, I did not see much wrong in this team. Maybe Pogba could have played because he had a very good game last game, but at the end of the day, if Ole is putting Pogba in his place, he should be doing that because the club is. I mean, no player is bigger than the club. I think he's doing exactly
exactly,
what needs to be done.
exactly.
And I mean, retrospection, we can say we scored six, but even without retrospection, I'll say there is nothing wrong with that team. These players are United players. The Fred is a 56 million by player. He can bring the ball up. This third goal, Fred went forward, right? He did not have a good game. There were a lot of misplaced passes. Whenever there is a high energy game, you see Fred has a lot of misplaced passes. He takes a little bit more time. He's not from the league, right? He comes from a Ukrainian league, so it is different. But at the end of the day, that was the tactic. Three people go and attack: Martial, Rashford, and Bruno. You guys attack. Others will support you. What is wrong in that? You are playing an attacking team. What is wrong in counter attacking? At the end of the day, 3 points, six goals. It's a 4 goals difference. And you won't believe all these interviews and everything. People are talking about Leeds after the game. Why? I don't really believe. There is no credit for Ole. There is no credit for how all our players. Everybody had a very good game. Everybody. Luke Shaw had a fantastic game actually. The one goal, the second goal they scored was a worldie, right? David couldn't stop that. It's impossible. So such a game, and they are just praising Leeds. I mean, Leeds are attacking 90 minutes is something which we appreciate, right? I think we had Blackpool a few years back, Blackpool or somebody who were playing some attractive football, but they still went down. If they go down playing this, because they are playing like this high energy football for 90 minutes, this year Christmas is not mid. Christmas is only 14 games. This is not like other seasons. This season is a late season. So by the time they are Jan Feb, they are going to run out of gas, and then we will probably see where Leeds end up. They are going to they might probably end up 15, 16 or something like that, because they at some point they are going to run out of gas. If there are two players injured, what they are going to do? Basler did not. I mean, they hooked off the defensive midfielder Phillips at halftime. They again went for more attack. I mean, he's not Alex Ferguson. Let's be honest, right? We came back 3-0 to 3-3 against Chelsea. We attacked. We knew we can attack Chelsea, and we attacked. We had. They did not. And again, like Ole said, we could have scored 12 goals. We might have considered 4 goals, but that much openness, 21 shots, 14 on target. I mean, what tactics does Leeds have, right? I don't really believe people just turning a blind eye to how good we played, how good Ole did that, how good a run we are on. But I'm really happy because as much as we are under the radar and getting the points, the 5 points of the top with one game in hand, we have Liverpool two and away. If we win Liverpool two and away, let's say we win Liverpool two and away, we are going to be top. We want to be, if we are the dark horses, let's be dark horses. Even without Sancho, even without getting a proper center back, we are playing some attractive football, some really attractive football. Everybody is going to say, oh, and all. We don't even have crowds. Other teams had some 2,000, 4,000 whatever crowds.
Yes,
We don't
yes.
have crowds. We didn't have preseason. We played Europa League. We were the last team to finish last season, and we probably had just 1 week in between. We had international players playing. Bruno was playing. Everybody, Pogba was playing. All the key players were playing international. Martial, everybody was playing international football. We have come back, and to be in this position, this is something unbelievable. But I'm very happy that nobody cares about it. Let nobody care about it. Let the media turn a blind eye. Let's keep progressing. That'll be all.
The thing is, the media focuses automatically on Manchester United, where they're doing well, they're doing badly. Other teams, I mean, I was talking about, yeah, and Anthony Martial misses, but Raheem Sterling and Timo Werner take the cake. I mean,
Yep.
what law
Arsenal.
of physics I was applied, or what, when Timo Werner missed that goal, I don't know.
Right?
So no
Goal
one
in the
talks
mid.
about that.
Yep. It is because Frank Lampard is a media darling. Arteta is a media darling. Beasla is playing some exclusive football. I mean, it's all nice. It's all nice. It doesn't have to be because Manchester United always sell papers. They are always going to concentrate on us and point at us. But it's okay. If that is how it has to be, let it be. Let's get
as
the trophy.
as long as they keep progressing, as long as they start winning trophies. And I think, yes, there is an upward trend at this point of time. And I think it's been such a topsy-turvy league also. The
Yep.
results:
Yep.
Liverpool, Manchester City, and Manchester United losing by huge margins on one day.
Yep.
And then Liverpool beating Crystal Palace 7 goals. The other teams, Aston Villa doing well, Southampton doing well, West Ham on their day can win. So
Definitely.
it's like a very unpredictable league. And towards the end of the season, I'm sure all the top teams are going to drop points. I mean, there's not much difference between 1 and 10. I mean, it's a question of 2-3 games for them to catch up in the league. So
City drawing to West Bromwich Albion. Nobody talks about that, right?
yeah,
Mahrez did not even play. I mean, what is that tactics from Pep Guardiola? I don't know. I mean, you look at City the way they play, like exactly what you said. You don't know which City is going to turn up. You don't know which Liverpool is going to turn up, which
exactly,
Chelsea is going to turn up. I mean, they
exactly.
won 3-0 yesterday. But at the end of the day, I really still don't think Chelsea are there. I mean, I thought they had a bench, very good bench, but they seem to be losing it at the difficult moments. It is going to be let's see. I mean, next they have Arsenal. Arsenal are screwed. I mean, uh, if they make top 10, it will be a big achievement. They look so disjointed. They are very bad. Uh, I mean, at the end of the day, that's how they are. It's okay. I mean, I just see it as no, we don't care. We are where we are. 13 games, 26 points. That was our target. Let's keep winning these games. Next one
Yes.
is Leicester in the Premier League. That is probably one difficult game, and then we have two maybe easier games. So let's win them, Wolves and I think Burnley or somebody, Aston Villa.
I
So
if they play the way they played against Leeds, the same mindset, the same attacking flair, I think Leicester are there for the taking. Manchester City were there for the taking. I don't understand why they played the game they played. But if we, this is the way the team should be playing, the way they played against Leeds.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
counter attacking, defending. Of course, um, Harry Maguire and Lindelof have been very solid, surprisingly. The left flank, Luke Shaw, Telles have really complemented each other in whichever game they've played. The right side, what happened? Aaron Van Bissaka. Oli was talking about those goals. We were down, the team was down 2 goals. The other 2 goals he was talking about were both. I think one Harrison missed when he just had a
yeah.
tap in. I think of both,
One world
and
class.
yeah, and the one was a DDG worldie. That save was amazing.
Save of the season. Yep.
Okay, so I mean both came because of Van Bissaka's fault. Van Bissaka not being able to track the ball in the air. Van Bissaka one on one is an excellent defender. Okay, but he has a problem running back, retrieving the ball. He has a problem tracking runners. He has a problem marking on set pieces. Okay, which I think
Mm.
once these, of course, it's not something that cannot be worked out on the training pitch, in the training ground, but I guess they have to work on it, and you just need to concentrate, a little more harder. But as a defender, one on one, nothing got past him, nothing. But tracking the runners is very important, and set
Yeah.
pieces.
Sheffield game he played better. I mean, even here, I think I just see it as getting pulled more narrow, right? When crosses coming from the left, right? He is more closer to the center back than to the their left back or left winger who is coming in and
Correct.
trying to score.
Yes.
It is what we should. It is some simple basic stuff, right? It's very difficult to backtrack and jump. It is actually easier to go forward and jump.
Correct.
Uh,
Yes.
Try
Yep.
to defend.
Yeah.
And there is Lindelof or Maguire who is in front of their defender. If a goal goes that way, it is their fault. If the goal goes this way, it is Bisaka's fault. Stay back, keep tracking where your left back is, and then or where your left winger is. Who you're marking. And yeah, it was a very poor timed jump. He was not getting the header. It's okay. I mean, I think we have spoken about him. It's not something which is going to change in one day. That is
Yeah.
the thing.
It
It takes
hasn't.
some time. He has to keep understanding that you have to stay wider. You are a wing back. You have to stay wider, and that is where our lack of right wingers is actually not helping us because nobody is coming back and helping. Right when Angelino was playing so well, we didn't have anybody a natural player to come back and help because we are playing a different system. So if we have a right winger, let's say Sancho or somebody who knows that he has to backtrack, right? When James, that is why we played better because James was a right winger or any winger. Hugh knew he had to come back and track. So he came back and tracked, and that is where we were winning possession. That is why they did not create so many chances from that side of the pitch. So that will help. I mean, for our team, the personality we have, it is all around Bruno. This team has gone to a different level. Sometimes, a lot of times, people say one player cannot make a change. This is a perfect example to show one player. If you look at points in 2020, probably we are in the top two, right? After Bruno has joined, I don't think anybody has scored more points than us. We have been so fantastic in this year. 2020 has been fantastic, and one man who has to be credited is Bruno. He has run the show. Penalties, goals, Even simple touches, right? You can see, look at the build up to the goals. You'll see he gets involved. I think if we score 6 goals, he's involved in at least five. If we
Yeah,
score 5 goals, he's
he
involved
scored two and assisted in one. So
2 goals and 1 assist.
one
Apart from
assist.
that, even goal involvement, right? Even if it is not a goal or
Yes,
assist, right? Second
yes,
assist, third, or whatever you
yes.
talk, he's definitely involved. He's always there. He is there, and the team is looking up to playing to him. That is very, very important. It is so. Sometimes you would look at players not getting the ball. Ronaldo sometimes at Real Madrid, right? Used to get so frustrated when others scored or he was not played the ball. It is not the case. The team knows Bruno is the focal point, including Pogba. They know, and he also knows sometimes he's not always going to get the ball. Not 10 out of 10 times, but he knows 8 out of 10 times he's going to get the ball. And he's also aware where the players are. That is very, very, very important. And I think that is where we have progressed a lot. We are using a lot of spaces. I think when the players spoke about utilizing spaces properly for both the games, right, last week, we did very well. So that should continue. We are making progress, and now it feels like 2 steps forward and nothing back, or probably 1 step back, because last years we were looking like 1 step forward, 2 steps back, or 2 steps forward and coming back, getting pulled back to those positions. Now we can easily open up a gap to the top four, to the fifth place, sixth place teams. That is something possible. Win the next 2 3 games in the league, and suddenly you can really think about a title challenge, because it is too early to talk about a title challenge. 13 games is nothing. Anything can happen. We can go up, we can go down. 5 games, right? You can see the same happened. 5 games back, we are somewhere else. So from 5 games later, we are somewhere else. So I think, and I am very confident Ole will keep the team grounded. They know it is 1 game at a time, or maximum 2 games at a time, right? That is what he's looking at. So yep, hopefully that continues.
Positive signs from the training ground. Definitely, they're really working hard on, on the players, on tactics. That the tactics are surprising to the opposition more than anything else, because I think the opposition will set up to play depending on what team they feel they're going to put out. But they put out a team seeming to defend, and then they go on an all-out attacking mode. It was really amazing against Leeds. And coming, I mean,
Luka played very well, actually. I think one player who went under the radar because he played only 50, 60 minutes or something. Luke Shaw actually played fantastic football that day. He had a measure. I think first goal he won the ball. I remember, yeah, first goal he won the ball and passed it to Bruno, who passed it to
uh,
McTominay. He had a fantastic game. I mean, overall, right? I think he keeps going under the radar now. The big challenge for Luke Shaw is playing full season. It is not playing 5 6 good games, because he has shown multiple times he's capable. Once he gets into a rhythm, even we win or lose, Luke Shaw keeps putting 7 or 8 out of 10 performances. Can he stay fit? I think that is where Telles will really help. He has started taking corners. This was something 6 years, 7 years he has been with United. We have never seen him take corners, but now Telles is there. I think there is some communication, right? It's not just coaches. There is work with players giving tips. You can see these people are actually a very good close knit group. It is not like if you're substituted, people have ego. I should play, you should play. I think that team, and a lot of credit, all the credit should go to Ole and all the background staff, because keeping players happy is very, very, very important. Even if he says my job is not to keep players happy, I think he knows what he's doing. He's keeping them happy. He win or lose, he's keeping them there. Complacency has started going down. Every game is a big game. That should continue. That is very, very important.
very true, very true. Your predictions for the League Cup against Everton?
I think we'll rotate the team. If there is one cup we don't really care about, I think it should be
Yeah,
the League Cup, because we are having like 2 games in 3 days after this. I think we
Leicester.
have it on 29th night and for New Year's Eve, because the game got pushed in. So 2 games, and then there is a 1 week gap. I think then the next game is only on 10th Jan. But then what will happen is after that we'll have a lot of games, because the game which we did not play, that will also come into picture. The game in hand will come into picture. It will probably be played on 13th or 20th, and then FA Cup is also there. So it's, and we have a good enough squad to rotate, right? I think we can play Bai and Axel Tuanzebe. Henderson should definitely will start. I think Telles might start. Right back is the problematic area. I'll probably go with Williams there. And then Pogba, Matic, and Van der Beek. Maybe I'll play Bruno. Maybe I'll keep him in the bench. Rashford was taken off, so I think Rashford will play because James played the whole 90 minutes, so Rashford might play. Cavani might start. Maybe it is too early, so Marshall might start. Cavani might come in. We have 5 subs, so we can make use of that. And Mason Greenwood or Mason might start in the middle and somebody else plays on the right. I think we should Mata or somebody. We should make use of the bench. Everton is a good team. They are in a very good form. You nullify Calvert Lewis. I think the game is in our hand. Decore and Calvert Lewis, those are two players which we have to keep a tab on because Decore is another very, very, very underrated player. When he played for Watford, when he played for, now he's playing for Everton, he's very underrated. He does his business very quietly. A lot of people talk about getting NDD or Zakaria. One player we could have actually looked at is Decore. He is tall, he's physically strong. He could replace Pogba in the role. He can go forward, he can score goals, he can tackle, he can do a lot of things. He's a very underrated player. Sometimes we miss on these gems, right? He came very cheap, and Everton's all the good games, all the wins they had, you'd see Dakari would be in the middle of things, doing stuff very silently. So I think if he plays, we should actually keep a tab on him. He's very, very, very risky player.
So hopefully the team will progress in the League Cup, and then Leicester coming up, 3 points
Yep.
there, and then we'd be, I think, just 2 points off the top. So,
Yep.
so I just hope it all works out, and it's a good week. It's a positive week, and we get the points where we need them.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's true.
Thanks a lot, Karthik.
Thank-
We'll meet again following weekend after the round of games.
yeah.
Yep. You take care and thanks a ton. See you soon.
Take
Yep.
care. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye.